Hello guys, welcome to my channel for new battle report. The first game of the tournament in Lausanne, Wartavern Road to Interregio. I was facing LUCA with a Swiss-Italian player, never faced him before, so interesting. Always interesting to face new people. He's playing Infernal Dwarves. Of course, I'm pretty familiar with the book, which helps massively in this kind of games. So, my list is always the same, told you about it in the previous videos, and the list of my opponent is playing a double Bastion, one time the General Master Alchemy, something that you don't see that much anymore because you don't have the mask that works on the Bastion anymore. A Prophet on Academy Chariot, who is an Adept Pyro, BSB with a Binding Scroll, who has the Golden Idol of Shamut, who is giving him a higher march rate, and also the bounce spell Glory of Gold, 2 units of Blunderbuss, 20 guys, 20 Vassal Levies, 2 units of 3 Toric Anointed to zone a little bit, have a higher charge range, Academy Titan, the second Bastion, and 2 Gunnery team with Rocket Battery, and last but not least a 5 Vassal Cavalry, which are auto-include in the list. I guess it's the only chaff that we have at your disposal, more or less, which is a decent mobility. We played the map number 1 and the scenario was Secure Target. I didn't select Trial of Faith. I made a mistake here, but I took the breast weapon. I was thinking about selecting Trial of Faith to be able to threat early on the rocket batteries, but actually when I saw the side of the board, I had 2 game plans, and I will talk more about it in the deployment zone. When we see the deployment picture, here you have the spell of my opponent. Of course, he plays a lot with the flaming synergies. He has 2 vassal units to give you flammable, and then he has 2 occurrence of Glory of Gold, 2 flaming banner plus flaming sword. A lot of tools to make the blunderbuss flammable or rocket batteries flammable and then shoot at you. So he has really decent tools. What do I think about the matchup? Of course, rocket battery are tough against me, really good, so I need to focus them with magic. That's why I was thinking about taking Trial of Faith. Cannon have good targets in this game, 3 gigantic. The General is a juicy target because, yeah, with no ward save, I can do a lot against him. I just need to be careful of the rocket batteries. Use cover if possible to avoid taking too much casualties until the Keen Eater ambush. Try to use my Hunter Fishgut to trap the Academy Titan because I have a ward save. Regarding second Hunter Jared, he will need to avoid the Alchemy zone, so I need to be careful. And yeah, the Titan zone as well, so not an easy game for a character with regeneration, with so many flaming, need to be careful. And since we are playing Secure Target, I want to see where my opponent goes, so I was thinking about counter-deploying to see what he does, but that's in particular valid for one part of the board. If I'm not able to choose the side of the board and I have no good cover in the early stages, I might go very aggressive and deploy everything. My Death Star is not scared from anything particular in close combats, which is rather positive. It's definitely huge when I'm able to be aggressive with the Death Star, and I think in this case I need to be able to face the Bastion with Death Star. If I'm able to get in combat with them, I should be really fine regarding the overall score. Deployment. So regarding the board, sorry about the picture, not so great. We were in a shop with not good light, and also in this game we are missing some piece of terrain. So here we have a water feature, this is a ruin, this is a field, this is forest, a hill, impassable, and a wall. So basically of course if I've won the side I would have been top, because you have some possibilities to hide or to use cover early on, but my opponent won the choose from the side, decided to put his token here for Secure Target. So then for me, my plan was pretty easy. I decided to put the Secure Target as close as possible from his to have really a zone where I can be aggressive and go forward in a compact zone, and that's why I decided to drop everything to go first. So I put a giant with great weapon, 3 tribesmen to go for this objective. Here I put a cannon that can pivot, move 6, be behind the wall, which is always interesting. The Death Star can as well go forward or go behind the wall. Second scoring here on the third scoring actually on the left. We have the giant with Iron Fist, second cannon that can also move 6 and use the impassable to gain some cover. So I thought that is really interesting because my cannon can be aggressive and at the same time threat him with good shots and use the cover. So I think that was pretty interesting for me. Here we have our guy Fishgut, who was scouting in the field, and Jared, who vanguarded on this part of the board. And also that's why I decided to select the breast weapon, because basically when I saw this part of the board and that I want to go aggressive, I think I really want to go in combat as soon as possible and threaten him. So I think I will definitely be in range to use the breast weapon very often. And here you have my Saber-tooth Tiger. Regarding my opponent, he put here 3 Torque Anointed, second unit on the right, so each part of the deployment. Unit of Vassal, this is the Kadim Titan, the Kadim Chariot, and the unit with the General, the 2 rocket batteries, the second Bastion with the unit of Blunderbuss, and here you have the Vassal Cav. And yeah, let's start with my turn 1. So I went very aggressively. Since I was able to insert the boss hunter in interesting zone, I thought let's go forward with what I can and threaten him at multiple places to force him difficult choice. So Fishgut moved to the side to basically cover every possible movement from this unit and be able to charge him next turn. Jared moved here to threaten the rocket battery. I got the 6 inches range to shoot and brace and do stuff at rocket battery and the Vassal Cav, which is always interesting. Try to clean chaff or the war machines. I move forward with the Death Star being range to charge the Bastion next turn. He has not a lot of possibilities to chaff me. And here on the right I move forward but still quite far away. I think I left him with a 6/6 on the charge, or maybe even outside, but I used the side of the board that if he charges me, he got only 2 in contact. I think I left him a 6/6, because if he fails, I can charge him next turn. And the rest, I took the wall. Here I move forward to shoot at him, but still be in cover because of my own unit. In the magic phase, I'm able to cast a breast weapon on Jared, strength 3. And of even one shot this rocket battery, which is huge. With the breast weapon, I'm able to kill 3 light cav, and the cannon did nothing at all. And let's move on to my opponent's turn 1. Let's see what he does. He fails the March check on an 8 with no reroll because of the giant, 8 not 9, but he was still within range of the general but not the BSB. So he just decided to go around and chaff Jared, and here he moved away from me, leaving me with a 8 Swift Ride to charge him in the back. Turns around the Bastion to shoot at Jared, who is within the forest. And here basically, because he failed the March check, he has no possibilities to chaff me other than the Kadim Titan. So he moves Kadim Titan, put himself a bit in the corner, offers me the front, and minimizing as much as he can my possible model in contact with him. On the right side, here you see my giant is here. I just moved him away to not fall on the floor because it was pretty dangerous, this part of the board. He moves forward to be ready to countercharge me, but at the same time I'm within a short range of charging him. And the Vassal move forward as well. In the magic phase, he put a Silver Spike, does 1 wound on this giant. He tried to put Flaming Sword, I dispel it, but he's able to get the Glory of Gold on this unit to shoot at me. With these 2 guys, he gives me Old Skin and then shoot at me with the Bastion and does 2 wounds. With reroll 2 wound, I have no regeneration, does 2 wounds to me. So that's it. I think I told you everything. Yeah, shooting with the Bastion, he did 4 wounds to my Death Star. Let's move on to my turn 2. So regarding charges, I will charge with my Hunter against them. I will charge with Fishgut against them. 8 Swift Stride, of course Death Star goes in. And here I didn't want to charge with my Giant against the flank of this unit, because basically the problem was If I fail the charge, I'm here, and if I fail with Fish Gut, I have no way of chaffing this unit, so he could just basically kill my giant, charge me, or force me to flee, and with the flee direction is looking really bad. And even if it's just even if I succeed in the charge, he could counter charge me as well, so quite problematic, I guess. I was not in a hurry to charge with the giant. I have still 3 very interesting charges this turn, so I don't need to get another one, I guess. No additional risk. So on the right side, he decided to flee the charge with the 3 guys. I fail my 8 Swift Ride with him against the 3 Torque Anointed, and of course the Death Star gets in. I move forward with my small unit to be able to threaten the Vassal Cav because he fled. I guess I have good option to be aggressive. I move forward as well with the cannon, and the Keen Eater comes on the board and threatens the unit of Vassal Cav. Vassal. And what else? I move my giant around to help threaten them to be out of arc of this unit, and I use this unit as kind of cover. Basically makes impossible the charge for the Bastion against Jared. I think I failed the march, that's why I moved so low this turn. In the magic phase, my opponent used a Binding Scroll against my Hereditary, but I'm still able to get -1 toughness on the Kalim Titan to help me a little bit. I'm able to get a breast weapon, strength 5 on my Shaman. My thought process was basically Kalim Titan has grinding attack, and the rest is 5 attack, strength 6. Hitting on 4+ against my character. If I'm getting the Shaman with Ligatong, he has only 4 attack with Battle Focus on 4+, 3+. I should be able to survive it with my character, so I should be able to breast weapon strength 5 against him, which is good. And I'm able to get Comet as well, Wrath of God on this unit, which is cool. 1 cannon rolls a misfire. I guess that's what this one roll 1 to hit on 4+ the Bastion. So yeah, did nothing this turn, and I cannot shoot anymore with this unit. Close combat. What happens? There is only this one, I guess. He killed my BSB. He puts 4 attack on 4+, does 4 hits plus 2 battle focus, 6 on 3+, kills me. So I butchered Captain Marlon, who is dead, but in return I'm able to kill the Kalim Titan, so at least this is that, because I feared next turn he could even kill my Shaman Grotz maybe, so yeah, that was a surprise. His turn 2, he uses the chaff to chaff my Death Star, moves forward to threaten me with shots with the Bastion. Doesn't rally the Torque Anointed on a 9 with no reroll, who go off the board, which was huge. Torque Anointed just moved to threaten the Giant, but still I have plenty of interesting charges with Hunter and Giant, and even it turns not so good this unit with the Bastion, because he will not be able to counter charge me if I charge in, which is, I guess, problematic. Move forward with this to shoot at Jared. And that was it in the magic phase. He cast I Dispel Flaming Sword. He will get Glory of Gold on this unit, put me flaming with this vassal and shoot at me and do a lot of wounds, but I'm able to pass the panic check. And what else? Yeah, I will use the Flaming Banner, but do nothing against me. I'm able to save it, fortunately. And that was it, so let's move on to my turn. My turn 2, basically I will take my turn 3, sorry. The charge, I didn't want to charge first with the Keen Eater, because if he flees, then basically maybe I have to redirect or fail charge and he can just charge me with the Kalim Chariot. So I thought, let's charge first with Giant and see what he does. So I charge Giant, he flees with the Vassal, I redirect needing a 10 to contact the Death Star, which is interesting. Then what else? Yeah, that was... And I also charged with this cannon. I thought he's not so good in combat. I should be able to stick him in place, so I charged also with the cannon. I thought let's send both of them, needing a 4 on 2 dice. Then I charged with Jared on the rocket battery, Fish Gut on the flank of them, and the Giant in the front. So a lot of charges. I failed the cannon on a 4, but get the giant on a 10, which was good. Use the Kinitor to charge the Kadim Chariot. Move forward with several of the scoring tribesmen to charge. And here I just decided I will, just cast spell against them. But I don't want to engage in any more combat, I guess. With the Death Star, I could have charged, but I wanted to be free if I fail both these charges to go away with the Death Star, basically. So I wanted to be free, that's why I didn't charge. And here I get in combat. And you can get here a cool picture of Fishgut and the giant in combat. In the magic phase, what did I do? I cast an hereditary and I was able to kill the chaff with the end of even, I guess. In close combat, I decided to go with giant against the BSB, kill the BSB, but I think I should have strike against the bastion because I'm hitting on 3+. That would have been much better to win combat maybe. So I guess that would have been a safer choice. Jared, of course, killed this rocket battery reforms. Here I'm able to do everything except one model. I reform with Fishgut and the giant, I guess, and he fled like here, and that was it. Let's move on to his turn 3. We're still in combat. He did a couple of wounds to my giant, actually, because of the crush attack, hitting at the same time as giant, so he did 4 wounds to me. So he decided not to charge, just move here to cast spell against Jared, turns around the bastion, rallies the Torque Anointed, and that's it. In the magic phase, he's able to roll a 2d6 against my Hunter Jared, but I'm able to save 2 wounds. And then he did some wounds against... don't remember who, to be honest. I guess he decided to shoot against Jared, but did nothing. And here in combat, he killed my giant with the crush attack, but I attacked with everything against the bastion, and I was able to do 5 wounds to the bastion, which is not bad for the giant. I was able to stick in place enough, and now it's my turn, and I have a lot of possible charges, which is cool. So I decided not to take any risk with my Death Star, and I just went with cannon, 2 units of tribesmen, and this guy, but I failed the cannon, and I'm able to get both tribesmen plus the Kinitor, which was pretty good. Reform the Death Star to be able to cast spell. I enter second Kinitor here on the back, and here I charge with Fishgut against the Torque Anointed again. I moved back with Jared to try to save him. Hide as well the Saber-Tooth Tiger, who was not needed. And I guess I should have maybe moved the Saber-Tooth Tiger over here to use him in the later stage, maybe against Kadim Chariot, or over here maybe behind the giant would have been a cool spot if he tried to go around. And here I put my giant, basically it leaves him with no line of sight onto my giant because the bastion is gigantic. So at the moment my giant is safe here, and took a couple of wounds because of the shooting of the bastion last turn actually. In my magic phase, I'm able to get -1 toughness on the big unit, which was interesting, and then I get as well a breast weapon strength 5 onto my Kinitor. I did a lot of wounds, but he was still steadfast. I reformed to get a rank here, I guess here I lose too many models, but here I get a rank. And then the next turn I will be able to break him, pursue onto the Kadim Chariot, get everybody. So basically I will kill everything except this unit that I will not touch. I think in the last turn I just charge with the Kinitor on the flank of this unit, just to stick him in place and secure both targets, taking no risk with my Death Star, and then I think he even failed the reform, but stick to the combat. And of course I killed that. This ended up being a 19-1 for me, so pretty happy about that. He was able to kill my second giant with the Kadim Chariot, the big version of the Pyroclastic Flow. What can I say? So I think since I couldn't use cover and I was able to put the token second, it was really interesting for me to start and be aggressive in this game and not take too much casualties from distance, because he was much more dangerous than me from distance. Small mistakes on the micro department with the giant red weapon. I should have put all my attack against the bastion in turn 1 to maximize the number of wounds that I can do and threaten the big magician, who is very important as well for the steadfast because he has a big footprint in the unit. I thought that my opponent, when he has Binding Scroll, it gets a bit difficult to boost combat, of course, since I don't have that much combat buff. And like very often in my games, when the hunter can go in soft spots, in spot where my opponent has no charge against me, they really shine, because they can threaten the opponent and they are a nightmare to deal with because they move so well. Of course, the fact that the matchup was not so in favor of my opponent, I think he could have deployed everything in the opposite half of the board and tried to go slowly towards the middle, maybe even try to draw the scenario later on, because it was close to the impassable, so maybe even it's possible try to do something for the scenario. And if he does nothing for the scenario, I have to take, I think, a big risk, try to go after him. I will be too far away. I think I don't have many chance to take a lot of points in this game if he does that, and this would probably ended up to something close to a 13-7. So that's always an alternative that you need to keep in mind if you have a very bad matchup. Why not use sometimes the scenario, lose scenario, but then lose nothing else than the scenario. It's always an alternative that you have. Thanks for watching this first game. So this started well. Second game will be very interesting. I'm facing Pierre-Emmanuel from Team ETC France. Will be very interesting to face this Seeker list, very nasty list with 2 times 24 Vanguard Seeker, 1 time 11, the Seeker Lord who has multi-wound against all my army, the King with multi-wound D3 on the throne, a unit of Old Guardian, 2 units of Greybeard, big blocks. I mean, very, very close combat focused army with no chaff, going really for the kill. And against me, I think it's a good list. So it will be really interesting to see what happened during the game and how I was able to deal with this list. I faced some difficulties in the past against this list. I played 1 time and really struggled during a UB tournament, if you remember. So here I think I was well prepared to do much better in this game against Pierre-Emmanuel and try to do the best I can to not suffer too much in this difficult game. Thanks all for watching this video. Talk to you soon on my channel. Bye bye guys. Take care.